Yo, what's good YouTube? Zamcrow here, aka Scoot, back with the March Madness Tour. We've got some more pool play content here, and we've got our game number 2. We're facing off against Sharpedo. Like I mentioned in our pool, we have John W, A12, Sharpedo 43, and Root 8100. So yeah, and then us, of course, Zamcrow YouTube, or Zamcrow, Scoot, whatever. Anyways, my opponent has a pretty terrifying squad, as you can see on screen. He's got the Heatran, Tangrowth, Haxorus, Cofagrigus, Thundurus Therian, and the Mega Sharpedo. He also had Armaldo on the bench, and had something else on the bench too that I forgot. How could I actually forget? Anyways, one mon's not too big of an issue. Perhaps if I can recall or remember by then, I'll drop it in the description or something. Anyways, we have Landorus Therian, Mega Alakazam, Infernape, Scizor, Rotom Wash, Oricorio, Decidueye, and the Slacking. For this matchup, we've decided to bring Landorus Therian, Mega Alakazam, Infernape, Scizor, and the Rotom Wash. Felt like it was a pretty nice team versus him. Able to check some of his mods and potentially catch some of them off guard. So our first Pokemon is our designated Stealth Rocker, Landorus Therian. We do have a complex EV spread with the Flyinium Z. We have Fly. We have a Jolly Nature, max HP, like I mentioned. We have 28 attack EVs, 20 defense EVs, 60 special defense EVs, and 152 speed EVs. Allows us to, I believe, outpace the Heatran always. I don't think we needed any more speed investment. We can never outpace, a Jolly Haxorus. We can't outpace Thundurus Therian or Sharpedo, obviously, especially after a speed boost. And you do not have to Mega Evolve the first turn, so I think that's worth noting. However, back to Landorus, we have Stealth Rocks, Swords Dance, Fly, and Earthquake. Fly with the Flyinium Z for the Supersonic Sky Strike, blows things back like Sharpedo. Cofagrigus at +2, blows back through the Tangrowth, which could otherwise, be annoying when I don't have the Supersonic Sky Strike. If I only have Fly, it could be very annoying. It could come in, throw off an attack as I fly in the air, and then switch out to Thundurus or Heatran or things like that, and then pivot back into the Tangrowth and the Earthquake. It could be very annoying. Anyways, we have enough bulk investment to survive like modest Heatran's Hidden Power Ice, unless it's like Specs or something, and then like Flamethrower, Choice Scarf Flamethrowers from a modest Heatran. This is just not gonna 2-hit KO us, or it never knocks us out after rocks. Thundurus Therian, unless it's an item boosting Thundurus, it can't knock us out with Hidden Power Ice after rocks either. Sharpedo after an Intimidate cannot knock us out with Ice Fang after it Mega Evolves with the Strong Jaw, so that's really nice as well. And if he tries to, Protect to get a speed boost in front of Landorus, and we hit him up with the Supersonic Sky Strike, it will blow through him. Sharpedo is not bulky enough to survive that even through the Protect. Next up, we've got Mega Alakazam, and based off his team, we're able to, his fastest Pokemon being Mega Sharpedo, we are only speed creeping that, and we only needed 16 speed EVs with a modest nature for this matchup. It's insane. So we were able to run nearly max bulk with 240 HP EVs, max special attack with a modest nature. So this thing's hitting like a truck, and it outpaces his entire squad except for Choice Scarf users and Sharpedo after a speed boost. That being said, if Sharpedo reveals Protect during the match, then I know if he's matched up against my Alakazam and he has not Mega Evolved yet, he will try to get that speed boost and click Protect. So I will click Sub on his Protect. If he attacks, I can switch out the following turn. If he does indeed click Protect, then I'll be behind a Sub and I can bop him with the Hidden Power Fighting. After Stealth Rocks, a modest Hidden Power Fighting should knock out the Mega Sharpedo unless it has bulk investment, which I don't think it's really afforded. It needs to outpace Landorus unless he was just banking on his speed boost. Anyways, Psychic and Hidden Power Fighting are our moves of choice. He has no resistances to Psychic outside of Heatran and Sharpedo, both of which take super effective damage from Hidden Power Fighting. I could have clicked Focus Blast, did not want to miss Obviously, I have a better chance to knock out Heatran with Focus Blast. It's actually always a 2-hit KO no matter what his set is. But Hidden Power Fighting and all the potential lures and the rest of my squad really afforded me to just run Hidden Power Fighting, a base 60, special attack move here. Next up, or our last move, is Recover. So if we get behind a sub and he actually switches out or something like that, or he brings in the Tangrowth or Heatran, we can recover up on those. We can recover up on our subs to get our health back and things like that. So that could be really nice. Depending on what his Haxorus is, if we sub up on his, Dragon Dance, and then recover up to full as he goes for, tries to break her sub, we could potentially be out of range of his attack. I doubt it, but you never know. Just, there's a lot of value in recovery, getting health back and things like that. It's really nice, especially in this matchup. And if I can trace Volt Absorb or Flash Fire from Thundurus Therian and Heatran respectively, I can work around those mons that otherwise are very, very threatening. So next up we have Infernape, which is a Focus Sash variant. Felt like if things like Sharpedo or Thundurus Therian got out of hand, even Haxorus getting out of hand, I could always bring in my Infernape, live one hit, blow something back with Close Combat or Fire Punch, put them in range of Mach Punch, and then follow up with the Mach Punch thanks to my Focus Sash. Afforded to run an Adamant Nature. I didn't feel like outpacing Sharpedo. I felt like a Protect and Aqua Jet was just things that, he could play around with. Outspeeding Sharpedo doesn't really benefit me. So I felt like just running an Adamant Nature here with enough speed to outpace Haxorus. And then just a little bit of HP investment, just a leftovers there. We do have U-Turn as well to kind of bluff a Choice Scarf or Choice Band set. Obviously he won't notice Choice Band damage, but he could still think that I was, Choice Locked or something like that. With Close Combat, Fire Punch, and Mach Punch being our only moves with the Iron Fist, allows Fire Punch and Mach Punch to be boosted a little bit, and don't have to try to get in Blaze range for the extra power output. Next up we've got Scizor, which is a Adamant Nature Technician Scizor with max HP, a little bit of speed investment actually, to always outpace a few certain things on his squad, and then 92 attack EVs with an Adamant Nature allows us to Heatran. If it comes in on a superpower, then the following turn it comes in on a superpower, it will drop. Bullet Punch with the Iron Plate boost can nearly 2-hit KO Haxorus. After 2 rounds of Stealth Rocks, I will always 2-hit KO. And it breaks a sub on Thundurus Therian and Mega Sharpedo always as well. Heatran's a huge issue, but being able to U-turn out into things like Rotom Wash or Landorus or Alakazam is really nice in this matchup. It gives me a lot of momentum. The Volt Turn core here with Infernape, Scizor, Rotom Wash, and even Decidueye has U-turn on it as well. It really gives me momentum into things like Landorus and Mega Alakazam, and even other mons as well, depending on what he actually brings in, which is really nice for me. So yeah, our last move on Scizor is Roost for longevity. Obviously, we can come in on Tangrowth and Sharpedo not super comfortably on Sharpedo, but if we're out of range of like Liquidation and Crunch and things like that, we can always Roost up, see what he's actually going to be able to do to us and things like that. And we do have Toxic on Rotom, so being able to Roost up and things like that, recover up with things like Alakazam, roosting with Scizor, roosting with Decidueye, allows the toxic damage to really build up and could potentially come in a lot of clutchness there, if that's a word. Rotom Wash and Decidueye are our last 2 Pokemon. Rotom Wash being a leftovers variant, nearly max defense with a little bit of special defense investment. Bold Nature with Volt Switch, Hydro Pump, Toxic, and Defog. He does have Tangrowth and Thundurus Therian, which comfortably switch into Rotom Wash. Would like to Toxic those mons, switch out accordingly. And Defog, because Cofagrigus could potentially have Toxic Spikes. He does have Heatran with potential Stealth Rocks. And then Decidueye has U-Turn, Leaf Blade, Spirit Shackle, and Roost with the Cobra Berry. So I can take a Crunch from Mega Sharpedo at full and knock him out with the Leaf Blade. I can also, if he's got like Dark Pulse on Thundurus Therian or Black Hole Eclipse, I can take that depending on what range I'm at. I can U-turn out. I can come in on Tangrowth pretty much infinitely, U-turn out as he goes into things like Heatran or Thundurus or Haxorus or whatever he wants to go into, and then get the initiative there. Spirit Shackle allows, like if he switches into Tangrowth and it's poisoned, he can't switch back out, and I can, slowly whittle that thing down to the point of, it just dying to the toxic damage, Roost Up and things like that. But yeah, it's going to be the prep. So looking at the team he brought, he's only got one potential Stealth Rocker in this matchup, and that's going to be his Heatran. So I definitely wanted to lead off with my Landers, so that, if he led with Heatran, then I would have the matchup advantage. But he's actually, check it out, he's going to lead off with his Cofagrigus. So here, I don't want to get Will-O-Wisp, and I know I don't have Sub or anything like that. Swords Dance Note would be a waste. So I'm going to go into Rotom Wash here. I'm expecting his Will-O-Wisp there, and now I can go for the Toxic, expecting Thundurus or Tangrowth to come in. I definitely knew he wasn't going to stay in and just allow Cofagrigus to be weakened or poisoned or burned itself. I'm going to hard switch into Decidueye here, as he actually goes for the Nasty Plot. So I can eat up a Hidden Power Ice here pretty comfortably, but he actually reveals Dark Pulse. So I'm hoping I don't get flinched here, and I get this Spirit Shackle damage off. And now after another turn here, he will die to the Toxic, and it will be a double down. So that's really nice for us. And now we go back into our Landers, but he goes back into the Cofagrigus as well. So we're going to have to hard switch here again, as he does go for the Trick Room this turn. So Trick Room was a solid play there, because had I Swords Danced, he would have been able to get the Will-O-Wisp off the following turn before I could attack. So it was a really nice play there. And he's going to reveal Hex, and it does quite a bit to my Rotom Wash. I am able to land the Toxic though. However, now my checks to Mega Sharpedo are extremely limited. I'm going to go out into my Scizor here, I'm going to bait the Will-O-Wisp, and I'm going to double out into my Infernape, and then he's got his Tangrowth in, and since he is under Trick Room, I'm going to switch out into my Rotom, and he does go for Earthquake, so that's really nice for us, as we're able to dodge any damage whatsoever there. And we could have thrown off a Toxic, but I expected him to go back into his Cofagrigus, as he just stays in to go for the Giga Drain. Unfortunate we didn't poison that thing, but we are just going to U-turn out here as he brings in his Cofagrigus. And unless this thing is max HP, max Spadef, then it should be in range of Toxic, or excuse me, should be in range of Mega Alakazam here with the Psychic. And based on the damage he was doing earlier, I did think he had some kind of special attack investment, but he actually has some sort of special defense investment there, and he survives the Psychic, but the poison will be able to knock him out. However, he did get, a little over 40% damage on us, which is really unfortunate for us. He brings in the Sharpedo and doesn't even protect there, calling my switch out, and knocks out my Rotom with the Crunch. So he didn't reveal Protect yet, so I don't know if he's actually going to have that. I U-turn out, force the Sharpedo out, he goes into his Haxorus, and I'm just going to bring in my Infernape and click Close Combat. Not quite a 2-hit KO, so I'm actually going to reveal that I'm not Choice Locked, and show off the Fire Punch, knock out the Tangrowth. He brings in the Heatran. I don't know why. It wasn't Chople Berry, it was Air Balloon. So I just fired off a Close Combat, was able to knock it out. Haxorus should be in range of Close Combat as well, and it drops as well. And now he brings in the Mega Sharpedo. So what I'm actually going to do is, I did not want flinched. And I expected the Close Combat or the Protect on that turn, but now I know he's going to attack, and I don't want flinched by Waterfall, so I'm going to click Mach Punch twice. Had I been flinched, I wouldn't have been able to get that Mach Punch damage off and put him in range of Scizor or things like that. And yeah, luckily he didn't even have Waterfall, so he goes straight for the Liquidation, which brought me to my Sash, and then Mach Punch able to clean up the game. So that was a really, really fun one. Yeah, definitely a really fun one. And I felt like my opponent made some really solid plays, and then at times made some questionable plays. I'm sure we both did in each other's perspective though. But yeah, that was a really, really fun one, despite the outcome being a 4-0. Like, my Scizor was getting chipped, Alakazam's at roughly half, and Infernape's on 1%. And at any time, Haxorus could have been a huge problem. Mega Sharpedo could have potentially cleaned up in the late game had I not played my Infernape to the point where its Sash was never broken. I never let Tangrowth, get the advantage. And the Toxic and the Cobra Berry really come in play on Decidueye, so that's really awesome. I did change that last minute from leftovers to Yache back to Cobra Berry. So yeah, really happy I did that and able to pick up a win here. But yeah, that's going to be it. Let me know what you guys thought about the prepping the plays on both sides of the field. We are 2-0 in our pool play now. So that's really solid for us. We did have a 2-0 win over John W. and now a 4-0 win over Sharpedo 43, putting us at 2-0 plus 6, which is really, really nice. Anyways, we got 2 more pool play games, and we'll get into those on down the line. I'm going to try to spread out my March Madness content over the rest of March. But that being said, let me know what you guys thought. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.